Hey guys, so iOS 18 is now officially out. It is available for everyone to download, and I'm sure most of you guys are already installing the next update, iOS 18, onto your device. But in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys the top 18 best new features and changes coming to your iPhone with iOS 18. And now I want to start off with one of the most requested features that iPhone users have wanted for a very long time, and that is the ability to lock or hide apps using Face ID, Touch ID, or your passcode on your iPhone. So in order to do this, is very simple. Let's say you want to lock the App Store. All you have to do is long press on the App Store, and now you get a new menu option under the submenus right here, require Face ID. Click on that and make sure that you lock your application just like so. Now when I launch the app, it will not open unless it detects Face ID. Now, if it doesn't detect Face ID several times, it will default back to your passcode on your iPhone. So you can just type in your passcode and you can unlock the application. But now you can actually lock these apps using Face ID or Touch ID. Now, in order to remove it, all you have to do is long press again and then do not request. Make sure your face is in frame, and now you can just launch the application like you normally would. And now in order to hide an application, it doesn't work on every single app, but third-party applications for the most part can be hidden. So let's go into the social media folder here, and let's say I want to hide the WhatsApp application. Same method, just long press, request Face ID, but this gives me an extra option to hide the application instead, so I can do that, hide the app, Face ID, and then it will give you the prompt. It will tell you everything. It will silence all notifications. You can't search the app on the phone until you unhide it again. So hide the application, it hides the app, and there's two places you can find the app and re-enable it. You can go into the actual app library, and at the very bottom you have a hidden folder, and when you tap there, obviously it will require Face ID or Touch ID, and then you can go in there and unhide the application, or you can go into settings under your new app drawer. So if you go all the way to the bottom in settings, you have the apps right here. You can find the WhatsApp all the way at the bottom of the list, just like so right there. And you can tap into this again, Face ID or Touch ID, or your passcode will be required. And then you can unhide the application on your iPhone once again. So yeah, you can finally hide apps, lock apps with Face ID or Touch ID within iOS 18. And now, before we continue, I wanted to share a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Reflex. Now, Reflex brings professional long exposure photography to iPhone users without the need of a tripod with their app Reheld. And now the application is extremely simple to use. You have your settings, you have your dial for the exposure time, you have the timer here, and you have the ability to choose different lenses from wide to ultra wide to telephoto, and obviously you also have your shutter. Here's a beautiful shot of a 30-second exposure from the lake. You can see the details on the plants and the water. The app does an excellent job at stability. Here's another 1-second exposure at night, taking advantage of the iPhone's HDR. I think the results look amazing. Here's some additional shots taken with the Reheld application for iPhone, and as you can see here, these photos look amazing, and all these pictures were taken without the need of a tripod. So make sure you head on over to Facebook and join Reflex Piazza and join the group and share your best photos taken with the Reheld application. Don't forget to download Reheld. Links will be available for you guys in the description down below, and thank you to Reflex for sponsoring today's video. Now with iOS 18, you can also make the icons larger and also remove the labels from underneath the icons on your home screen. So let me show you how to do this. You want to long press on the home screen. You want to go into edit. You want to head on over into customize, and then right here you have the option for larger icons. And once you select the larger icon option, you see that your icons will get larger and your labels will be removed. This gives you a cleaner look on your device. Now you also have the option to choose a dark mode icon if you want for the entire home screen, and this will also change third-party applications into dark mode. You also have the ability to automatic transition depending on the time of day, which I really love. So during the night, the icons get dark, and during the day, they get lighter depending if you choose the automatic option, obviously. And then you also have the tinted option. The tinted option allows you to add a tint layer over top the icons on your iPhone, and it will automatically adapt to the wallpaper as you just saw there. But you can actually play around with these colors and change it to whatever you want, as you can see right here. So yeah, you now have the ability to make your icons larger, remove the labels, get dark mode icons, and even tint your home screen icons on your iPhone, which I really like. Now with iOS 18, Apple added additional customizing options to the lock screen. You can finally now customize the shortcuts on the lock screen of your iPhone. All you have to do is long press on the lock screen, click to customize, go into the lock screen options, and now you can remove the flash and the camera and select from a ton of new options available under this drawer right here. You have capture options, clock, connectivity. You also have display, home, shortcuts. You have sound. I personally like to have the silent button right there, the silent mode option, and the flash on the lock screen right there. So those are my two favorite options to have there, but you can obviously choose whatever you want. So now I can just go ahead and silent and unsilence my phone directly from the lock screen. And if you add shortcuts to this, you have so many more additional options once you enable shortcuts through the lock screen as well. Now you can also finally customize the control center. One of my favorite new features in iOS 18 is the control center, because you can make it as simple or as complex as you like it. So you now have several pages right here. As you can see, you can just swipe through your pages. You have from favorites to music. I also have connections and the home controls. Now I can go ahead and customize my control center using the same long press on the control center, and I can resize these toggles right here. As you can see, just by grabbing on this little corner here, I can drag in, and I can obviously add controls by adding controls, and you get the drawer very similar to the lock screen. You can choose from capture. You also have connectivity. You have display and brightness, home, notes. I mean, you have a lot of options to customize your control center. You can even search through the entire connections or the entire controls options right here, so you can find the controls that you want. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to want Bluetooth added to the list. Right there it is, Bluetooth right there to the toggles. Now there's also the ability to power off your iPhone directly from Control Center as well. So right now, you see right there, we now have a power off button in Control Center that you would have to long press, and you can power off your iPhone directly from the Control Center. Now, one new feature added to Dynamic Island is the flash. So you have a new flash UI, as you can see right here. So you can go ahead and swipe up and down to increase or decrease the intensity, and left and right. As you can see there, you can go ahead and change the width of the beam as well within iOS 18. I think this is a really nice UI that Apple has come up with. As you can see there, the beam actually changes, and you can go ahead and lower or make it brighter. So yeah, a lot of customization options and new features coming to Control Center and the lock screen with iOS 18 that I really like. Now there's also a lot happening in messages. So let's jump into messages, because there's quite a bit to talk about here. For example, you can now schedule a message to be sent later. So by tapping on the plus icon, you have send later, and you can choose down here the date and time when you want that message to go out, which is a welcome change. I know many users really wanted that feature. There's also the ability to add effects to text as well. So you see this new icon here. You can tap into this icon, select from all these options for text effects. Let's say I want this one right here. And then when I type in a word, you see the effect will take place right there on that word, which is really cool as well. Now you also have emoji tap back reactions. So if you want to use an emoji when you double tap here to react, you now have the new emoji options available right there, and you can choose any emoji or sticker on your tap back reactions inside of messages. So nice welcome changes happening here in messages. Now there's also RCS support, so you'll now have a better messaging experience with Android users, very similar to when you message iOS users. So you want to go into the apps drawer here, and you want to make sure that you find the messages application here or extension, and make sure you enable RCS. This will give you typing indicators. This will give you read receipts. This will also give you better, media, so photos and videos are not pixelated. And you also get a lot of advantages in regards to messaging Android devices when you're in group chats as well. So yeah, RCS, definitely recommend you enable that. And there's also satellite messaging on iPhone. So yes, you can now use satellite messaging on iPhone. You can actually test that out right here. It is. You can test the text message on satellite, and if you're ever stranded without any Wi-Fi or cell service, you can actually text your family members with a satellite, as you can see right here, using your iPhone, which is a welcome change. Aside from the phone call that Apple added last year, they now have the text messages via satellite, which is a nice welcome change here. And again, you can try it out. You can try the demo there within iOS 18, and it gives you, an explanation on everything you can do via text message, even share your locations with family members, request roadside assistance, emergency SOS, find my, message people. So yeah, messaging via satellite easily the best new feature coming to the iPhone with iOS 18 in my opinion. Now, one of the best features coming to Safari, your web browser on iPhone, is the ability to hide distracting items. So let's say you're on a website and you want to hide something that may be distracting to you, right? So you're browsing and you see something that's distracting, for the most part ads. You can actually click here on your menu options on the top of the browser here, and then you have the hide distracting items, select that, and now you'll be able to tap an individual section of the actual page and hide it away just like so. It looks like magic. It cleans up the browser here, as you see, and if you want to read something, you now don't have those distracting items, and you can actually revert that. Obviously, you can just go ahead and revert that if you wish. You can just go back here and show the hidden items just like so. But yeah, you now have the ability within Safari to hide distracting items, which I'm sure many users are going to find very, very welcoming. That way you can just read things without being distracted in Safari web browser. I think it's an awesome new feature. And then there's also a new app called Passwords. Now, in iOS 17, all your passwords were in settings. That is no longer the case. In iOS 18, Apple created a brand new application called Passwords that syncs through iCloud. So if you change a password, it will sync through all of your devices. Once you launch the application, it will require Face ID authentication. If it can't read your face, it will default back to the passcode of your iPhone. So you can type in the passcode to unlock your device, and you'll get access to all of your passwords here. You also have codes that have been sent to you, security. We also have passkeys, Wi-Fi, and deleted. Now, under Wi-Fi, you can actually share Wi-Fi passwords by selecting a network that you previously connected to and creating a QR code for someone else to scan and actually connect to that Wi-Fi network that you want them to connect to or want to share. Now, you also have the ability to share your passwords here with family members, so you can go ahead and share your passkeys with other iOS users or family members that you wish. And there's also some new updates happening to the calculator app. So within iOS 18, Apple has redesigned the calculator app. We have several options here. We have basic, we have the scientific, we have math notes, and even convert here. So if we go into math notes here, for example, I can start actually, writing on the screen here, and I can actually do math directly on the actual app itself, and it will calculate it for me if it can understand my writing, but obviously it does not, as you can see right there. So let's see if we can get this to actually calculate this for me. Let's try that one more time. So let's go back here and reset everything, and let's go 4 plus 4. So let's type that 4 plus 4 equals, what does that equal? There it is. Finally got it to work. My handwriting is not the best, but as you can see there, it actually works. So there's some updates there to the calculator app as well. Keep in mind that all your passwords will now be on the default new password application, and these are going to be the best 18 new features and changes within iOS 18. Let me know what you think about the updates so far. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.